go. Hello everybody and welcome to our second game of the semi-final series, qualification round 2 of the Ultimate Team Tournament 2, and having just won their first game right at the last minute with spectacular gameplay, playing as the Soviets, it's GB Hooligan, and playing as the Brits, it is Refero.
Yeah, and they're facing on the north side, Helping Hands as the UTT2 player on the right side, and on the left side, Von Asten as the Wehrmacht player. And Von Asten straight immediately goes to German infantry doctrine, means he has 5-man squads for grenadiers, his G43s.
Nice, yeah. This is interesting. I mean, really, the only 0 CP unlock here is the half track. So I'm always a bit wary of this. Like, unless your commander, we saw Von Asten in the last game pick a armored assault. Unless you definitely are going to use something at the start, do you need to pick it straight away?
Probably to say so he can't misclick. Like if he's in action and then he misclicks the commander, he says, "No, I have a plan right now. I want to go for 5 and grenadiers."
What you said is kind of like it counters itself, because if you're a pro player and you misclick, you're not a pro player. But yeah, I mean, I get the logic actually there. Yeah. So, okay.
We see no MG actually from Asten, so he's straight going for 3 grenadiers, facing with Spritz, and I'm not sure if this is the best idea, because normally infantry section are winning with these grenadiers and you need a sniper. So let's see how this would go in the late game and mid game.
Hooligan here, balls of steel. He's trying to go in with this conscript squad. They're fairly low health and only 2 models left, and all the infantry units just kind of kiting around here. You can hear the universal carrier slowly making its way up the incline to the fuel point, and Refero helping out there should be able to perhaps pick up some shots on the Volksgrenadiers with hands.
Yeah, definitely nice team play here from Refero to help his mate to get and secure their own fuel, because Hooligan was really struggling versus Von Asten, and now Von Asten gets bullied, has retreated first grenadier right side, and also all other squads and munition points are very low, trying to keep the munition point will bleed for that. So he's pushing forward, and yeah, he's completely pushed away. Flank coming in from Von Asten with 2 grenadiers going to the cutoff.
Yeah.
Already spotted.
Desperate to try and cut early fuel for the Allies. I mean, even if they're not successful here, they've still kind of taken the 2 allied factions and they've made them fight together to try and stop any decapping. So they're wasting the Allies' time right now whilst they themselves get control of the map. And you can see what the map looks like in the early game. Still pretty good, I would say.
Yeah, it's have a little bit in favor for Axis, as we saw in the last time, but not so hard before. Like, the victory points are at the moment on Allies. They're focusing more, have 2 victory points, still 500. If you remember back in the first game with the sniper play, immediately 200 victory points were gone. But in this game, big push in the middle. And actually right now it's time for the Allies to go for the decap on the left side, pushing to the cutoff point with the army.
This is interesting, actually, Von Asten and Helping Hands playing together the way that they have at the start. It kind of made Hooligan and Refero bunch all their units up together to deal with it, and then that bunch ran across the map itself and has managed to push the Axis back. This time, I actually think they might have a better job at this, because, as you can see here, the decap is going to be really brutal. First, they're going to quickly decap at the strategic point, and then they're going to get the fuel point as well. It's going to take a while to cap that back. So, actually, not great for Hands and Von Asten at this moment.
Yeah, it's crazy. Allies doing a really good job, so Hooligan and Refero, as in the first game as well, they make a lot of pressure in the early game, and let's see if it will turn around as last time in the mid game, that Von Asten and Helping Hands have some strategy which works very well for the mid game. Come back to Grenadiers forcing to retreat the intersection left side so they get their own fuel back, but still 2 victory points ticking. for the allies.
Hans is putting a lot of effort onto the right-hand side of the map here. Not sure whether he actually wants the fuel or the VP. Got his Sturm Pioneers in a really good position. But actually the work from the Universal Carrier and the engineers with the Flamethrower has been really good. You can actually see Hooligan and Refero, they're working together very, very well here to try and keep Hans at bay. Von Asten seems to have broken through on the center and the left now.
Yeah, 3 Grenadiers pushed it into section and maybe gets actually in, oh, so close in the munition point. So, Refero he has to retreat very soon. Maybe he tries to body block, but no, doesn't occur, never mind. AC is on the field from Refero, but there are no vehicles right now for the Axis, so...
Oh no, but thanks to its great performance against infantry, Sturm Panther, it's going to be phenomenal here. And of course being sarcastic, but you know, maybe it's going to have a purpose for the rest of the game. I think the AEC is actually very, very useful as the game goes on. If, you know, when it's using its abilities for Treadbreaker and stuff, it can really, really decide some vehicle engagements.
Yeah, it definitely can, and sometimes AC is a perfect unit to counter sniper. If it hits a sniper, the sniper is dead. It happens often enough in this game. Asten has to retreat here a little bit because Critplay puts all his arm to the left side, but meanwhile on right side, when the Universe is gone, Hooligan has struggling really hard versus helping Hans, which is claiming right now the right field and building sand sacks and green cover everywhere. And we have the first triple cap right now for the Axis to make trouble and pressure.
Yeah, well, you look at that. I mean, Hans and Von Asten going to be furious, I think, after having lost the last game. They were in a really good position at one point to win that game. So now they may be able to pick up double fuel for a very short amount of time, but Refero is trying to stop that from happening by getting on top of the VP now. It's actually quite good. If Hooligan and Refero jump on top of this strategic point here, then they may be able to decap nearly the entire map for Axis, so it would render this entire movement from Hans useless. I think they're going to get it.
Yeah, nice flank destroying about MG. MG has to retreat, and there we go. They actually get the cutoff.
Wow,
Nice
really, really good move from Hooligan there. Again, Axis, they were expecting, I think, to be on like plus 33 fuel there, and they ended up on plus 13.
But this one conscript completely in the back line. But here comes the push. Flamer, Pioneer, and conscript forcing Von Asten out of cover. Maybe he's reinforcing now the Flamer Pioneer's conscript.
No, he missed it.
Sadly.
Missed it. It's a shame. Nice I was fully expecting he'd be able to do that, but I think he left it a little bit too late.
Also, I'm wondering, the Universal Carrier has still no upgrade yet. Neither the Flamer upgrade nor the Vickers. It's such an improvement if you do that.
Puma there just obviously to counter the Universal Carrier and the AEC, just try and keep Refero from being as effective as he is. And Von Asten just trying to get control over the left-hand side of the map again. Allies, by the way, they're just kind of like sending an entire army to the left, an entire army to the right. That's
yeah, it's still wrong. Triple cap for allies. I mean, Axis going for decap it again, but short time it was for allies, and we see the next commander pick from the Brit player with Pharaoh. And it's not Saxon Doctrine, it's Landmark Reds, Mobile Assault Regiment.
Yep, it's pretty good commander actually for the land mattress, fully expecting to see that. And I don't know, I would have thought he's going to go for the flamethrowers on the sappers.
Maybe he has the munition.
Normally done by now, to be honest. But
I mean, he didn't still upgrade the reverse case, not on. We see a mortar pit out on double mines already. Soviet
I don't know why he decided to get the Tommy Squad inside them. I think that may have lost him a model there unnecessarily.
I can hear the first mortar hits from the mortar pits, trying to hit something left side. And I really like, look in the middle right side, every mines, to Brit mines to Soviet mines, to securing the right flank, to protect the mortar pit.
Yep. See smoke there, popped from the AEC. He's trying to escape the AT gun. Puma there, I think, just glimpsed it, but there's a line of sight blocker from the hedge here. Furrow, I think he's trying to ground attack whilst taking shelter behind the hedge. Always love watching players do that, you know, utilizing light of sight in Company of Heroes to its full, forcing the player to try and like ground attack you in return.
Yeah, definitely. We have
big hits from the mortar, by the way. Sorry, Stern Panther. Just want to, like, Grenadiers just getting forced off the field everywhere, and the Grenadiers now 5-man squads upgraded with the G34s. It's going to make it pretty obvious as to what Von Asten's commander pick is.
Nice play here again. When you lay mines, normally you expect to get mines as well from the allies and Axis, and you see everyone laying mine. Also with everyone laying mine, right side, mine that got defused from Refero, and 70 coming to the middle.
Yeah. Refero just lost a squad then to a rifle grenade. And yeah, from hands of Von Asten, I mean, it hasn't been, you know, it hasn't been easy for them so far in this game. They've kind of done great map control, and it's been taken away from them in a second, but the consistency of play is much better here at the moment. I think they're in for a pretty strong win at this rate, but we keep saying this. They keep saying it looks like they're going to win. We all know how Hooligan and Refero performed in game 1.
Really hard to tell.
Stats whilst we're here.
Yeah, Hooligan is a little bit behind, but it's conscript, so it doesn't matter too much.
T70 may have found itself in a bit of a weird position there. Puma managed to get 2 easy shots off on the T70 due to it being a bit overextended. You don't want to be handing free veterans away to units like that.
Quite funny, right? So both Minesweeper retreating, but spotted every mine. So both teams now, that right side is completely mined from both players. So they only go with Minesweeper to right side. Don't miss any models. And here we are with Helping Hands Stuka. Will it be has more success than 1 kill in the first barrage?
Well, I hope so. Anybody that's coming from game 1 will know that GB Hooligan Stuka, when he was playing OKW in the previous game, was terrible. Can we see a change here in the Stuka from Helping Hands? No. No, we can't.
Exactly 1 kill as the first round. Exactly the same. Well, let's see how it goes forward. Yeah, in the moment, because of all the mines laying down everywhere, the game is a little bit static right now. People don't rush too hard. You only go to the right side of the Minesweeper, left side doing some blobs a little bit too quick. Grenadiers coming to the intersection with 243s. They come here actually from Refero, making some damage, but still has to retreat.
Interesting to see. Yep. Actually, it's funny to see the Grenadiers move, because the Zis barrage is actually not as effective as it used to be against units in cover. It's again one of the recent changes from the winter balance patch. Actually, it now works a bit more like other indirect fire units like the mortar, so...
Yeah, and we can see the mortar making some health damage, and both Grenadiers from Asten has to retreat there. It's paying off already, this mortar pit.
There's a real mortar battle going on here, as you've got the Zis gun firing, the Austere mortar trying to counter, then you've got the HM 120, sorry, HM 38, trying to counter fire on the mortar, and that's a pretty big hit. None of the models died, but I think one more hit from a mortar could finish that.
We see a unit which I never saw before this year from Hooligan. It's the big mortar for the Soviets. You see this unit so rare. 100mm mortar, if we can do something with that.
We are losing a sector.
Wow, as well, Hooligan and Refero not having a particularly strong start to the game here. Fortunately though, VPs are tied at 389, but they are going down for the Allies slowly. Hooligan on the right hand side will have a look at how he's been doing. You can see what he's up against here. Hans is always really quick with the time that he gets when he's not fighting enemy units. He's managed to wire off all the green cover that Hooligan would be using.
Second Stuka barrage as well. 1 kill again on the T-gun. So far 2 barrages, 2 kills. Not what you wanted as an Axis player. Two-ply flare going down on the right side victory points. I really have to say, it's always turning around the map. 1 minute Axis have triple cap and most of the map, now Allies have it again, so it's always a back and forward, both sides. They come in left side, but Van Asten sees and dodge it very well. Rifle come on the infantry section though, making some health damage.
Yeah, of course Van Asten may as well get back here because Refero managed to decap the fuel on that side very effectively. Sun Panther, I'm pretty sure the second ago, Helping Hands and Van Asten had the entire map. Did you see when or how this changed?
No. Yeah, just
what just happened then?
It's turning around every 2 minutes. Like, I was full push and then full back to completely. Good spot back in. I think it's because of the mortar, because always the units have low HP and they don't want to lose any more manpower for it. Puma trying and right to found the T70, 1 shot's connected, still needs 2 more. T70 is going around the hedges. Hits again from Puma, this gun trying to hit. Consequently, he has a T snares. Puma has to back up and saves the T70 with the squads.
Well, it's very well dealt with from Hooligan, I think. He's just trying to get up onto the right-hand side. Van Asten does have the cap for now, and Van Asten, of course, on the other side of the map. Trying to get control there, but they haven't got control of the center of the map, and the center of the map, this obviously allows allies to just spearhead them and kind of dive on top of the resource cutoffs.
Helping Hands, actually, I mean, he was mechanized at a Puma and a Stuka, and normally after that you go for OPWT4 to get out your heavy tanks, but he went for a medic to get an ISG out and shooting right now on the mortar pit to counter it. But sadly it got included, so ISG's down.
Can this be the Stuka shot we've been waiting for? It's better, definitely better, and there's a squad wipe on the Maxim. We just saw a squad wipe there for Refero. It looks like a Tommy squad just went down during that as well. So now it's time for the Axis resurgence.
Marking and targeting of vehicles is now
Nice one.
available.
ISG got decrued again, so he can grab it again and try to start again to harass the mortar pits. It's so hard to attack the middle victory point when there's a mortar pit always shelling out. So actually it's maybe a good choice here from Asten to say, no, I don't go for tanks first, I just go for SG to counter the mortar pit. Foxing they coming in, trying to force the AC or even throw a flame nade in the mortar pit.
Oh no.
Great.
Actually the sappers were stood on top of their own mine when that went off there. And there's the incendiary also just on the mortar pit. And trying to get incendiary on the sappers.
Really push right now. Both AT guns are very in front of from Helping Hands to shoot on the mortar pit. 1 shot's got also to 70. But both are low HP, so they have to back and get medics.
Oh, there's a land mattress though from Refero. This was the counter that was needed. Van Asten needs to be really, really careful here. Shells continue to fire, and he's going to lose 1 pack 40. Also, by the way, Hooligan has managed to get a T-34-85 out. And it's pretty uncontested right now. I think we have a Brumbear from Van Asten. As for Helping Hands, we've only got the Puma, so T-34-85 I think is in a good place right now.
It's in a perfect position right now because one AT gun is decrewed, the other one has only 2 models, so he can actually drive just into it if he wants to.
I'm not sure where he's going. Yeah, like a little bit too keen, I think.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
He has no infantry right now to grab actually his own AT gun back, but Brumbear should save. Luring in from conscript, Hooligan really wants the AT gun and maybe we're able to. First Brumbear shots. Yeah, but there's no my AT gun, go away.
What?
AC goes down on the right side.
What did that go down to?
Actually, I think it was... No.
Please don't be something like an ISG. If I... Oh! What a huge hit from the ISG! The ISG just wipes like a squad and nearly wipes the second squad. Did the ISG get a vehicle kill? No, it didn't. What killed the AEC here?
Actually, I think it was like, should be Puma ASG, but infantry unit was around and stole the stats kill. It happens sometimes.
I'm checking them. Vehicle destroyed. There's one on the Grenadiers, so maybe they got a good Faust off.
Okay. But yeah, the Pioneer squad preparing the mortar pit. It's so useless. Another sugar rush coming in on the middle victory point. Gets a retreat and a nice hit here. Vickers goes down. And Helping Hands gets a new SVAS struck out, so he's going now 44. Maybe later on get his command paper, which is his last commander in the setup.
Yep.
That Matrix is ready to fire. Let's see when he will do it. And Katyusha is in production as well.
Nice, yeah. Of course, if Hooligan and Referrer hadn't have spotted the artillery flares earlier, then they would have spotted there, I think, from the grenades that were thrown that Special Operations was chosen.
Helping Hands lost in the middle of Volks Grenadier to the mortar pit. He was a two-man Volks and just got wiped. Puma with T70. Oh, T70 is so close on his own mine. He has to be careful not to explode his own mine there. Conscript on the left side on the victory point. Unproperly, he has to shoot very soon. As G43, he could actually chase it, and he's doing it. Land Matrix going in the middle on the HG.
Yeah, well, we've seen how damaging these rockets can be, and we're just seeing a lot of models getting picked off even as they're retreating. The spread is huge, and I think they might be trying to get the ISG a little bit here as well. That ISG's been so good already in the game.
Katyusha on the left left munition points to counter barrage. Oh, so close, man. He didn't just even move away from us. It says, no, I tanked the rockets. And the conscript, by the way, died, of course, to the G43s.
The one that was retreating from the VP, you mean?
Exactly, yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
Another sugar rush coming in the middle, maybe on the landmat threat, actually, in the 20 mortars. Going for it. Misses.
Yeah. Oh, there's, I think we've got some off-map here. Fragmentation bomb. It's on the mortar pit as well. Oh, mortar pit with brace just survives, but the land mattress goes down and the engineers are down too. Do they have anything that is able to finish this? The Brumbear may even come in here, I think, to try and deal with it, but somehow still alive.
Land mattress is still alive. But yeah, T on his gun, but he still can get it. Mortar pit goes finally down to the SG, and nice pickup there. We had 3 SG, 14 kills, doing his work. Fireflies on the field. Oh, I'm not sure if I really is this needed. Like, Von Asten has no tanks at all. Only one Puma, one Stuker. Puma, but they're so scared.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I think the biggest thing that they have as a problem right now is enemy infantry. You know, so they can't be relying on the land mattresses solely for that, but perhaps it's to try and keep the Brumbear at bay. We see the Firefly there, just trying to single that unit out. Maybe that will allow the infantry fights to be a little bit fairer. Tough position for allies right now, though.
Yeah, they got some wipes, so less infantry, and they have to look around how they can still cap. They have 2 conscripts to cap, 3 infantry section, but yeah, no upgrades on the infantry section. Asten has a lot of weapon teams as well, 2 AT guns, mortar, MG. They're looking strong right now for access for middle and left side covered. Helping Hand Stuka is driving forward to the battlefield, ready to fire again. To the next target again. Here comes the flares again from Helping Hands. He sees the Katyusha and the 100-meter mortar, and he's aiming for it probably. Stuka's shooting.
Manages to get that one. Here's the return fire from the Katyusha. There's all the infantry coming through the center. Might be a squad wipe here. One man on the Grenadiers manages to get away. Rivero was trying to flank with some Tommy squads here on the Pack 40s. Got suppressed by the MG42, but there's another squad that's coming in now. And I don't think that Von Asten has really spotted this because he's too busy with the Grenadiers on the right trying to chase down the Katyusha and the mortar.
Oh, he can get it actually. If he has line of sight, he doesn't have line of sight yet to force the Katyusha. He's trying to. First Katyusha should be able to, but get pinned, but one cost not enough. The second one connects, and well played here. Katyusha goes down. And also, meanwhile, the T70 was dying left at 30 gun, so double loss for Hooligan. Katyusha and T70 is down.
Oh, big hits from the tulips of the Firefly on the Brumbear. That's unfortunate for Von Asten. I think, is he going to try and ground attack here to get the last shot? It was close. It was really close.
Faust is not enough, no damage yet. AT guns are refacing, and so Brumbear is safe. Yeah, I would say right now Axis are really in an awesome position. Rifle nades, but well dodged.
Well, look, Rivero and Hooligan still have an army, so it's still possible for them to deal with this. However, they've got to be so much more careful with their tanks, the two Pack 40s and a Raketten lineup, but the Panther finishes off the T-34-85, and the 6-pounder and the Firefly I don't think are going to be enough to deal with what Axis have at the moment. Two Panthers, a Brumbear waiting to be repaired, and of course the Puma.
Yeah, especially the second Panther, it's like a little bit overkill. It's hard to do right now, and one Firefly, one AT gun, it's all the armor stuff. New flares coming down from Helping Hands, and the Stuka barrage again, aiming for maybe on the MG in the middle, or the AT guns, or in the base. Yes, who knows?
You know where that one's got to be, surely.
They're almost dead.
Now, let's not forget, by the way, Hooligan and Rivero in their last game did phenomenally well to come back from a position like this previously. They're not left without anything, so here comes their attempt to get back. The land mattress is going in towards the center VP, hoping to maybe try and get a retreat off on the support weapons. Von Asten, though, is taking this opportunity to go further into enemy lines and again try to decap the strategic point that's going to cut Allied fuel. Not before taking time to launch a rifle grenade, which misses.
Yeah, so now he has to retreat because he has a Maxine covering around. Just look on the 100-meter mortar, only 8 kills, but there are another Landman threats coming in. So 2 Landmans now again shooting on the weapon teams from Asten on the cutoff point. Hitting some nice shots in Grand so far, missing the mortars. Oh, but still almost half of that one after one barrage. Doing more to the walking Stuka after the first 2 barrages.
Well, I mean, really, like, where do Allies go from here? Like, there's such a reliance on the Firefly right now for that unit to perform here. It's got to deal with some really high armored targets. 2 Panthers and the Brumbear. And I'm assuming that the Brumbear is the priority target because it's the thing stopping the infantry getting up the field. Nevertheless, Rivero manages to get the VP left, so there's something.
Maxim has to retreat right side because of the flank of the Panthers. No nades. Oh. Fortunately, I should retreat right now, as he does. Sneaky intersection going left side on the cutoff point, but yeah, got spotted and thinks, yeah, okay, nothing to do here. Flanking the MG. Another Landwirtschaft going into the middle. AT guns have to retreat, that's it, first connected.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. He picks up the decrewed Pack 40 with an attack move from the Firefly. So they're trying to break the support weapons of their opponents and force them to rebuild. Really, really good moves here. And allies, they're finding some fight still in them. They've got the 6-pounder for support. They've got the Firefly. Tulips, they just cannot afford to fire at the moment, I don't think.
Yeah, I think it would be nice if Von Asten goes for Panzerwerfer to helping hands to counter both land matrices and 100-meter mortars.
Look at this Vet 4 ISG Stormpanzer. Isn't it beautiful?
It is. It's so rare to see. 15 kills.
Hans here has been booby trapping the victory point with the Obersoldaten that he's built. Of course, they've picked up some points.
Another Landmatrix shooting in the middle victory point, forcing retreat and gets a full wipe. Actually, it was this help, I guess, from other stuff, but counter barrage from Stuke missed it completely. They have to find something to kill the Landmatrix, like a Panzerwerfer or another Stuke. Anything.
Oh, MG42 suppressed that squad work immediately. Really nice, the mortar shells just landing like straight after that suppression. You get really good synergy with the machine gun and mortar in that formation. They're doing really well with the support weapons. Important to know, I mean, Axis, I think they still have by far the stronger armies here. But they're giving allies quite a lot of time to deal with this. Where is this airstrike?
Oh. Mutation bomb.
Oh! Wipes an entire squad of conscripts. 7 models in one hit. That was beautiful to see.
I liked it right side. Helping Hands was trying to flank Mr. Puma but hit a mine, so he has to back up. He was trying to come in backline. Landmatrix shooting the left side again, forcing Von Asten retreat. Yeah, but kicking. Triple cap for Axis still.
Oh no, that's a really good Faust from Von Asten. The Pack 40 and the Panthers are on top of it. The T-3045 is still alive at the moment. The Grenadiers are going in. They're trying to get vision for that Pack 40 to do more work. They've actually got a Faust available. Is this the Faust that's going to kill it? It does. Great play from Von Asten there. Really capitalizing on that. There's Tulip shots at the Panther. Of course, the Firefly has to be so careful about the Raketen that's there. And here's the Stuka strike through the center. It's a big one this time. Nearly wiping a machine gun and an AT gun.
And at the same time, the Firefly goes down to double Raketenwerfer and a T-gun. So much action at the same time. Obers flanking around. Have to treat another Obers coming in. Trying to clear out the T-gun and conscripts. So pick up it. Yeah, it's still victory points in the hand of Axis. So it was a nice try from Allies to push, but Axis won the push. Panther trying to kill the T-gun. Now Landmatrix going into the middle victory point on the Raketenwerfer.
You can see how desperate the allies are getting. Von Asten here on the left-hand side is actually forced to retreat. It's going to give them a VP, might buy them a little bit more time. And really sad, by the way. I mean, with the loss of the Firefly, all the fuel that Refero had saved up has had to go back into another Firefly, and I'm sure, you know, he would have been much better off with another vehicle. So that push kind of came, I think, at a bad time for his resource bank. Let's just have a look at the graphs at the moment to see what's going on here.
Yeah, Axis are from the value of army way ahead. And that's what we can see in the game. 25 victory points containing. And shooting again. They really want to kill it at 4 HG. But he's hiding behind the houses, so a lot of shots into the house. Here we are, Panzerwerfer finally trying to counter the Landmatrix, probably. No, for the middle victory point. Nice hit there, pins the intersection. Here comes the Stuka again. It's all about the middle victory point right now. misses though. Brombear hits, nice shot, and they again has to treat intersection, trying to still go to victory point. I mean, it's clear they can't win anymore, but it's about victory points. But it looks like we see our ace game coming up very soon.
I think so, but they're still trying to give it a good go for these remaining VPs. They've actually just decapped Axis from their VP bleed, so VP drain. So allies are kind of stalling the VPs for the moment, but pretty confident, as you say. Sorry, not stemming them, just reducing them. Of course, they've got the VP capped on the left. But as you say, Stone Panther, I think it is going to be that ace game, and I'm pretty happy about that, to be honest, because the series has been really, really good so far.
Nice in the middle. Asian Age, but still, here comes the cap. Intersection set, we went out, and one more tick is needed. 1 second, and there we go. This was the second game. GG von Asten and Helping Hands winning again. Axis, so both time Axis won. So it's 1-1, and we're going to our ace game because this is best of 3.
GG.